Hi everyone, I'm Matt, and welcome to 10 Minute Story. Today we're taking aim at one of the most fascinating and sometimes terrifying aspects of human history: weapons. From sharpened stones to guided missiles, the tools we've used to fight, defend, and conquer have changed dramatically. But they've also told a deeper story, one about survival, innovation, power, and even fear. So how did we go from throwing spears to launching drones? And what does this tell us about human nature and society? Let's dive into the incredible journey of weapons through the ages. Long before gunpowder and steel, early humans used what nature gave them. Imagine you're in the Stone Age. Survival is a daily struggle, and hunting is dangerous. The earliest weapons were basic sharp stones, sticks, and animal bones shaped into points. The hand axe, for example, was one of humanity's first multi-purpose tools, used to cut, chop, and yes, defend. But even back then, it wasn't just about brute force. Early humans learned to shape flint to make sharper tools and even added handles, creating the first spears and clubs. These innovations weren't just about killing animals or enemies, they were the start of humanity's relationship with engineering and strategy. And then came the bow and arrow, a total game changer. Suddenly distance became a tactical advantage. With this ranged weapon, prehistoric hunters could strike without getting too close, and that concept never really left us. Around 3000 BCE, something revolutionary happened: metallurgy. With the rise of the Bronze Age, societies began smelting copper and tin to create bronze weapons, more durable, more lethal, and often beautifully decorated. Swords, axes, and daggers became not just tools of war, but symbols of power and prestige. Then came the Iron Age. Iron was harder, more abundant, and easier to maintain. This allowed civilizations like the Assyrians, Greeks, and Romans to mass-produce weapons, shifting battles from tribal skirmishes to organized warfare. The Roman gladius, short, sharp, and brutal, became legendary. Combine it with the Roman military formation tactics, and you had a fighting force that conquered half the known world. During this time, armor also evolved. From bronze chest plates to iron helmets and chainmail, the arms race between offensive and defensive technologies was officially on. And speaking of evolution, if you're enjoying this look at how humans shaped weapons, make sure to like the video, leave a comment with your favorite historical weapon, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our stories. The medieval period was both brutal and brilliant when it came to weapons. Swords became more specialized: long swords, broadswords, sabers, and rapiers. Knights in shining armor wielded these weapons with a deadly mix of skill and honor, or so the stories go. Meanwhile, the longbow changed the rules of engagement. English archers proved devastating at battles like Agincourt, where they mowed down French knights from afar. Unlike the crossbow, which was easier to use but slower to reload, the longbow required training, but its power and range were unmatched. But humans didn't just fight on foot. Siege warfare emerged as kingdoms fortified themselves in castles. This led to the development of siege weapons: battering rams, trebuchets, and catapults capable of flinging projectiles the size of small cars. It was the medieval version of heavy artillery, and it was terrifying. In this era, the battlefield became a laboratory of invention, with every new defense prompting a new offense. So enter China, around the 9th century. Alchemists, searching for the elixir of life, accidentally discovered gunpowder. What they found wasn't eternal youth, but, it did give birth to the age of explosions. Gunpowder spread westward, changing warfare forever. The first weapons were pretty crude: fire lances, early cannons, and hand cannons. But by the 15th century, firearms had become portable and deadly. Muskets and arquebuses replaced bows, even if they were slower to reload. The sound, the smoke, the sheer power. Gunpowder introduced a psychological edge to battle. Suddenly, armor became obsolete, and the battlefield was louder, bloodier, and honestly, more chaotic than ever. Artillery also improved. Cannons could now blast through castle walls, making medieval fortifications useless. The age of knights in armor was over. The 19th century brought the Industrial Revolution, and with it, the mechanization of war. Weapons were no longer handcrafted, they were mass-produced. This meant more guns, more bullets, and honestly, more bodies. Rifles replaced muskets, featuring rifled barrels for greater accuracy. The invention of the machine gun, like the infamous Maxim gun, brought horror to the front lines. In World War I, trench warfare and machine guns created a brutal stalemate, while new horrors like tanks, poison gas, and flamethrowers entered the scene. World War II took things even further. Automatic rifles, grenades, bazookas, and airplanes turned entire cities into battlegrounds. The development of radar, aircraft carriers, and submarines added new dimensions to war on land, sea, and air. And then came 1945. On August 6, 1945, the world changed forever. The United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, followed by Nagasaki 3 days later. These bombs, powered by nuclear fission, had the destructive capacity to level cities in seconds and left radioactive fallout for decades. The Cold War was defined by the threat of nuclear annihilation. Deterrence, rather than attack, became the name of the game. The concept of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, kept superpowers from pulling the trigger, but fear loomed large. Even today, nuclear weapons remain a controversial and honestly terrifying legacy of human innovation. We created a weapon so powerful that using it could end civilization as we know it. In the 21st century, warfare looks very different. Modern weapons include drones capable of striking targets from halfway across the world with stunning precision. These unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, are revolutionizing combat, allowing nations to avoid putting soldiers at risk while still projecting force. But not all battles happen with bullets. Cyber warfare is emerging as a new kind of conflict. State-sponsored hacking, data breaches, and digital sabotage are becoming tools of war, threatening infrastructure, financial systems, and even public opinion. The battlefield has expanded beyond physical space. Satellites, GPS-guided missiles, and artificial intelligence are changing how wars are fought, and even who fights them. We've come a long way from sharpened stones. The history of weapons is more than just a timeline of inventions. It's a mirror of humanity. Our tools of war have reflected our fears, ambitions, intelligence, and flaws. Every weapon tells a story, of empires risen and fallen, of revolutions, of science, and sometimes, of madness. As we look to the future, one question remains: will our innovations in warfare continue to escalate, or will we find new ways to resolve conflict? Thanks for watching 10 Minutes Story. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment about the most fascinating weapon you learned about today, and check out these related videos right here on the channel. Every day, a new pill of curiosity. See you next time.